5 o'clock. We'll call the meeting to order. Please rise and join me for the pledge of the flag. Okay, at this time we'll have our open forum. Is there anyone that would like to come forward and address the board at this time? Okay. We have a public hearing regarding a tax abatement for a new home construction. Is there anyone who would like to come forward and speak to that? Okay, next we have celebrating our successes. We have the Albert Lea High School wrestlers. Paul Durbin, would you please come forward?
Well, thanks for having us here. We got 4 of our 5 state tournament participants here. Four of our 6. Who are we missing? Brady and Cole. Oh, Cole's at driver's ed still tonight. Nick placed 3rd in state this year. It's a 2-time place winner. Zach is a 2-time state champion, 5-time state place winner. And both Caleb and Griffin made it to the state tournament as sophomores, the first state tournament. So we're missing Cole and Brady Nielsen. Oh, there's Brady. All right. So Brady Nielsen's another senior with us. So very proud of these guys. They earned the trip and they did a great job this year. So.
Thank you very much. Anyone?
Tell us what we're all doing down the road here, guys. So,
Just want to see the seniors or?
Yeah, I'm excuse me. I'm wrestling for Iowa, University of Iowa Hawkeyes next year. Yeah.
I'm wrestling for St. Cloud State University.
And we got our 2 sophomores. You guys have your future plans, I know. All right.
I'm still undecided.
Well, congratulations and thank you.
Zach and Nick had their coaching debut yesterday and did pretty well.
Yes, they did. They're coaching a junior high youth team or junior high team here through the end of the year. So.
Well, you guys represented the district very well. So thanks for your effort on the map and all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have tonight's agenda. What are your wishes?
Move approval.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving tonight's agenda signify by saying aye. Aye. Pose same sign. Motion carries. Next we have the consent items.
Move to approve.
Is there a second? Okay.
I'd also like to commend the district in regard to the memorandum of understandings involving agreement between the ALEA and mostly Mike and Kathy, I believe. We won't go into any details, but it's a good agreement.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have reports. Dr. Funk.
No slides tonight, just a couple things from the legislature. One of the more controversial things in the legislature right now is a potential change to the tiered licensure update. Right now, we've got a 4-tier system, and Tier 1 is basically people who have a specific skill that, if we want to teach construction trades or electrician, we could get somebody to come in who has that background and they could get a license, and they may not have a formal teaching license, but they would get a Tier 1 license. And so they potentially could have a lot of good value there. Currently, they can continually get it renewed if if we need to. There's a bill in front of the legislature right now that would limit it to 1 renewal unless there was good cause for additional renewal. So it makes it a bit more difficult. So it's interesting because Education Minnesota, on one hand, is really pushing the bill as proposed, where I think the School Board Association and some of the others are on the other side of the fence. So it'll be real interesting to see where that one lands. The other thing of note, the Snow Day Relief Act, we want to call it, it passed the Senate a week or so ago. The House was supposed to hear it today, their version of it, and I have not seen yet how that shook out. But we should, I imagine, see something like that in the next. What will happen is the House version wants to give 3 days of relief. The Senate's version is basically local control. Local school districts can decide. They'll have a conference committee iron it out, and then probably in a couple weeks' time, we'll see what it looks like. But we're in a good shape on the Snow Day side of the house, anyhow, in our district. So that's my update.
Okay. School board reports. I'll start with Dennis this time.
The business education, thanks for sharing that. The Chamber Business Education meeting. We talked a lot about the pipeline program, and we're very glad the turnout for the training that they had was 11-1. It sounds like there's several businesses that are going to apply. They had 40 people attended, 46 were registered. We spent a lot of time talking on governmental affairs. One of the major crises, March 22nd, we're going to be having the eggs and issues, 7:30 to 9:30 will be child care. So that'll be a big topic that will be talked about. We're looking at other opportunities as we move along, just to keep that going now, so we can pull the public in more on educational issues and state issues that are coming up. Dr. Funk talked a little bit about with the legislature. Federally, we're having some issues now too. Right now, Trump took all of the, was it 1.5 million out of the century, or the 21st century grant. YUSA has had us send a lot of data in and letters to all of our representatives to keep an eye on that. That would be very disconcerting if that would go away. A lot of the school districts take advantage of those dollars. I think, does District 241 still use?
We don't, but we were actually in the process of applying at Halverson Elementary for that.
Okay, so keep a close eye on that. If more comes out, maybe we can all send in letters. And again, Albert Lee doesn't use it much, but that's still okay. Not tied quite to the school board, but I was out in Boston for Character Development Leadership Institute. Just a ton of good information. I'm hoping that I can bring back some of that to share with the school district as well as with staffing. We look at it, and they're really taking the focus of the look from the adult side versus the kid size, and what we need to do. And we can't look at it as a burden, but it's a necessity. It has to be thought, caught, and taught is basically what they're saying, but there's a lot of good information there. I think Neil talked last time on the Albert Lee Education Foundation. I don't think we've met since then. Those were the only ones that I had this time.
I have nothing to report.
Right. I would say the operating tuition cost per student is probably in the range, last time I ran it was like 22,000, and often the service cost is often 50,000 for those high need students. So it is much more cost effective sending those students with those needs to the co-op.
So we have students from other districts at the co-op then?
So, of course, Austin and Albert Lee are the two main districts, but if a student happens to open enroll from another district to Austin or Albert Lee, there are a couple students from the surrounding districts due to that nuance that are serviced at the co-op.
Thank you. I attended the Partners in Prevention meeting where the Tobacco 21 crew gave a presentation. There was a good turnout there, and they're looking for support at the City Council meeting on Monday, March 25th. And in recognition of last week being Sunshine Week and the citizens' right to know how their government business is handled, I would like to pass on a piece of information, and that is that these open meetings are the people's business. They should be handled in a transparent manner. Anyone has the legal right to attend and or record the meetings. There's a misconception in the community because of a way a certain matter was handled a while back that someone had inappropriately recorded a school board meeting, but that is not correct. Let's work together to keep information transparent and appropriate. Also, March 30th will mark 1 year since the district posted a false and derogatory comment on my social media, and I would like to know when I'll be receiving an apology from the responsible individual, Mr. Chair.
Our lawyer had addressed that, and so we're going to move forward. So, Neil?
I'm on 2 committees, both of which are also attended by Dennis, and did a fine job of reporting on the education, or the business education committee. I wasn't at the meeting of the state wrestling tournament, so I have no report.
I attended the Teacher of the Year committee, and we selected the 6 finalists. So that's just, I keep saying that that's quite the process, and it makes you feel good, and lots of tears in the room when you hear the stories from students and parents and other teachers. So it was a great time. I feel kind of blessed to be able to be in that room with those people. And so looking forward to the tea on April 3rd. Make sure you mark your calendar. I'm sure you'll get an invite. Also, I attended the Worksite Wellness meeting last Wednesday that the Chamber puts on. That was a great. We had Buettner, Joel Buettner. No, that's not right. Dan Buettner. Joel Spoonheimer. There we go. Sorry, I'm really know faces really well, but I can't remember names. Anyway, he had been with us when we decided to be a Blue Zone community back in 2009, and so he's celebrating 10 years with Albert Lee, and it was just really fun to go back and just kind of reminisce about where we've come, and so we should be proud of that. And then there was one more. I think that's, I'm on the foundation for the Chamber as well, and so we're doing some rebranding there and reworking there and making sure that we're getting the message out there that what we're here for, to help the community, and so you'll be seeing things about that.
Okay. I was at Hawthorne School for Green Eggs and Ham. There was about 600 people that were attending. It was quite the morning to see all the parents that came. So I like to see the parents because they're supporting their students, and so the green eggs didn't look real appetizing to me, but the rest of us.
You didn't have some for
No, I just had coffee. So anyway, moving on to our student board member, Gigi.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It starts at 7, but come at 6:30 for the jazz band pre-show. I'm sure that's where Maggie's at practicing. We also have the Wall of Inspiration. I'm sure you guys know what that is. I think that's open to the public. For sure, yeah. So if you want to come check that out, that's pretty awesome. I don't know. Yes, it's on Friday. Good. And then also we are having a blood drive tomorrow at the school. So it's a great thing too.
Okay, our teacher report, Linda.
Hi. As Jill stated, Teacher of the Year is coming up. Teachers are excited about that, and it's great to honor a fellow teacher that way. Education Minnesota Unity Day was March 13th, and the ALEA stands united in proclaiming our intent to negotiate collectively with all decision makers on behalf of our students, as they deserve the best schools we can provide, staffed by well-trained professional educators. Trips during spring break at the high school occurred. The choir went on a 5-day trip to San Antonio, Texas, and Oklahoma City, visited lots of different things, including the Alamo, SeaWorld. They sang at several different churches, cathedral, memory care unit, SeaWorld, and the memorial by the surviving tree. There was also a school-wide trip to Europe, and they spent 2 nights in Paris, 2 nights in Normandy, and 2 nights in London, and they had a great time. So, and other things I already mentioned going on at the high school, I haven't heard from any other buildings of things going on, but I know there's concerts and other things going, and everybody had a great but tired Monday back of the first quarter, for secondary anyway, the first day of the fourth quarter. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to a resolution approving the property tax abatement. Lori.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Superintendent Funk, for your consideration is tax abatement housing assistance program. This is similar to a number of them that have been brought to the board in the past. This is for a single-family home for a period of 5 years, and David and Lois Palmer, new construction. Any questions?
Okay, this is an action item.
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor of approving the resolution for property tax abatement signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Then moving on to the next one, 11.2, amendment to a resolution.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Superintendent Funk, for your consideration is this resolution that amends a prior tax abatement resolution. Has to do with the Wedgewood Cove Estates. We've had 2 prior resolutions on this. First one was back in April 6th of 2015 when it was initially approved for the property tax abatement. And then again on January 2nd of 2018 when there was a new owner. And then now this, what I'm proposing here is adding additional language here to indicate the effective date of this property tax abatement would start with calendar year 2018. And the reason for that is that the construction for the entire project was completed so that the 2018 property taxes is the first year that that new valuation is would be showing up. And that also would be consistent with the date that the city and county were also putting it in place effective calendar year 2018. So that is the why I'm bringing this.
So let me clarify that. So we initially passed it, it wasn't built, basically. And now it's completely built. And now since it's built, now we're moving forward with the tax abatement.
Right, and so, for example, it took a while for the entire project to be done. There were 2 parcels that were completed in 2017, but for all 4 components, parcels to be completed. That didn't happen until the 2018 taxes. So that is the rationale that the county and the city had in the stance of having an effective 2018 when the whole project was complete.
So it's an abatement for 5 years?
This abatement is for up till, I don't know if I have it with me here, but it has a dollar limit.
Okay,
On the
there is a
original
limit
one,
on it.
there's a
My
dollar
question
limit.
is, we are not continuing to push this and abate down the road.
No.
Okay.
And the end date still is the same.
Okay. This is an action item?
I'll move to approve.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we have motion second. Any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor of approving the amended resolution for tax abatement signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 11.3 now, the resolution for tobacco 21.
This is a pretty simple resolution, but you've heard all the information. We are supportive of, and we're actually requesting the city of Oberly to pass an ordinance to raise the sale age of tobacco to age 21.
Okay, we have motion and second. Any other discussion? I think we've...
One question on it. If and when it passes, I know at the hearing that they have coming up, I had gotten an email, what's Randy's wife's name? Ellen had asked if I could read the resolution at that hearing. I don't know if we need anybody specific, but they had asked if I would present at it, and I just wanted to make sure that would be okay.
Okay. Looks like we need to have a roll call vote for this one. So, start with Kim. Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0. Thank you. I'll entertain a motion then to go into closed session under Minnesota Statute 13D.05, Subdivision 3. Is there a second? Okay. All those in favor of the closed session signify by saying aye. 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 Opposed? Motion carries. Would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Means adjourned.